We're going to show you how to factor this quadratic equation and use our same method that we looked at in the past videos. Okay, so once again, we need to recognize that this is in standard form, and standard form is ax squared plus bx plus c. Okay, so looking at our example, we can say that a is equal to 2, b is equal to 1, and c is equal to, right here, negative 3. Okay? We've got these values by looking at our example above. Okay? So, our next step is a times c, which we know is 2 times negative 3. That's going to be negative 6. And b, we just take along for the ride, is equal to 1 and equal to 1. Okay? So, we need to find two values that when multiplied together give us AC, which is negative 6, and when added together give us 1. And that'll help us elongate and expand the question on the next step. So, what are those two values? Well, let's look at the factors of 6. We have 1 and 6, we have 2 and 3, and that's kind of where we run out. So, we know it's either going to be a combination of 1 and 6 or 2 and 3. 2 and 3 have a difference of 1, so let's try that first. 2 and 3. 2 and 3. Now the problem with this is that 2 times 3 doesn't equal negative 6, and 2 plus 3 doesn't equal 1. But if we go negative 2 times 3, that equals negative 6, and negative 2 plus 3, that does equal 1. Okay, so we have our two answers, negative 2 and 3. So our next step is to rewrite the expression, top of the page. So I'll go ahead and do that. 2x squared plus x minus 3. Again, we're going to rewrite this with our new numbers that we just found. So it'll be 2x squared minus 2x, again, got the negative 2x from the last step, plus 3x minus 3. So all we did was replace this term. Instead of collecting like terms and saying plus x, we used negative 2x plus 3x, which is the same thing, right? Negative 2 plus 3 is 1, okay? So it's the same thing. We've just elongated the question. We've expanded it a little bit more. Okay, and the reason why we're doing that is to make the next step easier. We're going to put brackets around these two terms and brackets around these two terms. Always take the sign with the term, by the way. And we're going to factor out. What's the greatest common factor we can pull out of both of these brackets? So the first, the bracket on the left, we can pull out 2x. Okay? And inside the bracket, that gives us simply x. How do we know that? Because 2x times x gives us 2x squared. And then minus 1. How do we know it's 1? Well, because 2x multiplied by 2x multiplied by negative 1 gives us negative 2x. Okay, great. The next bracket, we have to factor as well. What can we pull out of here? What's the greatest common factor? If you said 3, you're correct. So pull out a 3, and that leaves us with x minus 1. Okay? How do we know it's x minus 1? Because when we go 3 times x and 3 times negative 1, that gives us 3x minus 3. Okay, so what do we do next? Well, we pause, right? We pause here and we look at the insides of these two brackets. Are they the same? Yes, they are. So we know we're on the right track. Okay, so our final answer, again, is going to be 2 brackets. And what do we put in the first bracket? X minus 1, the contents of the 2 brackets in the step above. And the last bracket, we put in what's left. So in this case, 2x plus 3. And that is our final answer. Okay, now, how do we check and make sure we got the right answer? We expand back out. So I'll write check. Okay, so x minus 1, 2x plus 3. If we multiply x times 2x, that'll give us 2x squared. And then x times 3, that'll give us plus 3x. Multiply the next terms, negative 1 times 2x, that gives us negative 2x, and negative 1 multiplied by 3, that gives us negative 3. When we collect like terms, that gives us 2x squared plus x minus 3. And we know that this is correct because that is the expression that was given to us at the beginning of the question. Okay, so go ahead and pause here if you need to. And you can kind of see how we got here. But yeah, like I said, they're pretty straightforward once you know the formula here. Okay, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.